Oh, what time is it? 4:20 o'clock. I don't know. There's not like really a cool way to say that. Oh, what time is it? It is 4. I don't know.
You smoking a joint, honey? It is a 420 episode. My dog really just came in here with a joint in her mouth. I mean, it's a plush toy.
Yeah, it's a burlap joint, but it's a joint nonetheless.
But it's a joint nonetheless.
Happy 420.
Happy 420. Talk, go get him, honey.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are
the NeuroNerds. Yes, that was on time.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about that.
NeuroNerds.
So it's 420 on 420. It's not really on 420, but it is 420 right now. And we are talking about the medicinal side of marijuana, how it helps. And lo and behold, who sits across from me? Is it Lauren? No, because I'm not fearing for my life. I'm not fearing physical assault right now. I'm not. A good friend of the show, a good friend of mine, my brother, my survivor homie, a friend of the community's Thomas Mejia.
Thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure to be back because I'm alive.
Damn right. So,
and because I had such a great time recording the last episodes.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
It really was,
like,
man.
It was a lot of fun. It was informative. It was bonding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real, it was like super bonding. So, you know, Thomas, obviously you're a friend of the show. You're a friend of this community. This community loves you. I've gotten the most response from our interview that we did together than I think almost anything else, which is really, really cool.
Wow.
I dig that. I
didn't even know that was the fact. Like, that's amazing.
So yeah, so I talk to Thomas like every once in a while because we're dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, hey, what's up, man? You good? Good? All right, cool.
You had a really good term today. You said, I'm a dude's dude. Yeah, like Ryan is a man. I'm a dude.
Yeah, I'm a dude's dude. Like, I drink beer.
Well, I drink tequila.
I like sports.
I don't.
You don't like sports?
I think we're separated.
Yeah, see, so
what makes a dude? There's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole side subject. Are you a stroke or brain injury survivor looking for a community and support? Well, the NeuroNerds are here to help. Join our #UsoRock Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/UsoRock to connect with other survivors like you.
Plus, read other inspirational brain injury survivor stories on Joe's blog at josorocks.com/UsoRock. And submit your stories there as well. We want to hear them.
And remember,
you so rock.
So today is 420. It is 420 as we speak.
Fact check. It is not 420 yet at the time of this episode release, so please refrain from calling in sick to work. Today is April 8th, 2019.
And I have been using my medication. So if I'm a little off, there's your reason. If we had joints, we'd clash them.
Yeah. If we had them, we'd be a lot slower right now.
Dude.
I wish I could use more medication right now, but I have like this little coffee thing. So like, you know, when I take marijuana, I just say weed. I say marijuana. It sounds like so professional.
I heard that marijuana was a derogatory term.
So for years, it was evil.
Right.
It was evil.
I heard that cannabis is. I feel like
cannabis is like it's more of a positive spin on the word marijuana. So marijuana's illegal. Cannabis. Oh, I heard that's legal.
And to be honest, it sounds a little dirty.
It does.
Marijuana.
It does.
Does she want to? What does she want to do? Get out of here.
Oh, that Mary Jane. So it was.
Big up to Rick James.
Big up to Cypress Hill too.
Oh yeah.
I love you, Mary Jane.
Every show has to go. But you got to give it to Rick because there would be no "I love you, Mary Jane" without Rick.
That is very true. So with my I'm not gonna say obsession. My relationship with marijuana, it goes like basically almost like about half of my life, I guess. But it's not like, oh man, I smoke all day, every day. I smoked weed for the first time when I was 16 years old. All of my friends were, I don't really understand where me in the 90s, where we got weed. It's not like we had money to throw at like drug dealers. I didn't really
it happened like this. I'll break it down. You got that one kid, that one magical afternoon.
Somebody always had
that. Who knows how they even got it? And no, that was the last thing on your mind. You wanted to go play that video game. You wanted to go swing that bat. You wanted to go see that new field. And this other kid was like, hey, man, I've got some of this marijuana. You were like, I've heard about it.
I was like, hey man, I don't want to do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Because it had a terrible stigma. And so you were doing dude, I grew up in the 80s. And I know the commercials. The guy had one hand closed, the other hand was closed, and he was like, pick it. And he had joints in both hands or whatever. It was like, it was made to be like a terrible thing.
I went through DARE, drug
abuse resistance education.
I went through that. I know about the broken record where you're like, no, I don't want any. No, I don't want any. No, I don't want any.
Yep.
Yes, I kind of wanted some.
I've said no for so long.
So I've never done drugs. Oh, so here's my story with talking to my mom about drugs.
So that was a hard conversation.
It was easy for me.
Really?
It was awesome.
Really?
Because I was such a good kid. I never really I was a rule follower, you know? So my mom was a hippie. She smoked some weed in the 60s. She called it grass.
Okay, she's really from the 60s. Okay, cool, that's great.
Or reefer.
Ooh.
Not reefer.
But not
reefer.
Madness, just the straight.
Yeah, it's a reefer.
Right, just the.
So in my 30s, in my early 30s, because I'm 41 now. So in my early 30s, my mom tried to, because she's not slick at all. She could try to be slick, but she's not. I was like, oh, she's going to ask me if I've done drugs. So she was like, in the 60s, I smoked a lot of reefer. Smoked a lot of pot. I was like, yeah.
A lot of grass.
A lot of grass. She's like,
a lot of dope.
I don't think it's drugs. I don't think marijuana is drugs.
Damn, she gave you a pass.
She did.
She said, here is your cannabis card.
And then a minute.
If you're going to bring it home, share it.
A minute and a half went by. And then she's out of the blue. Have you ever done drugs? And I was like,
she's been stressing out for a month about this question.
Forever. So what's funny is the first thing I said is, wait, so you don't consider weed a drug? And she said, no. I was like, Mom, I have never done drugs.
That's my man. You're a genius.
So she was like, oh, you never even smoked a joint? I was like, no, Ma, I smoke all the time.
Oh, I smoke cannabis all the time.
I was like, but
it's not
drugs.
You're a genius. I would have got spanked for that shit.
I think she hit me.
Okay.
I was a grown-ass man, and she still hit me. But that's where she came from. She came from where it was persecuted because she was kind of like a hippie in the 60s.
So I'm first generation citizen, like born in this country out of my family. Mm-hmm. My people are from South America. So my mom is really against, smoking of cannabis, and it has been my entire life.
Really?
And I've always sucked at hiding it from her.
Purposefully or
no, just like
you're
she's
just
good.
Bad.
No, she's good. I think because I'm doing my best, but she's really good at it. And so, all right, example. It's like my mom would always smell it on me, my hands, my fingers. She'd smell my fingers and smell the weed on me.
What grade? Like, what age were you?
Man, I'd say it'd be let's go ahead and responsibly say 16, 17.
That's about the same age for me.
Something like that.
So we're talking marijuana, but it had a very different stigma back then.
Like huge, like it had heroin.
It did, which it blows my, especially today, because of the research that's being done and the positive effects that are being shown, and not just the positive effects that's being shown. It's the negative effects that are being disproven. Where it's like, yeah, all the stuff that you guys were afraid of, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. So my mom was a hippie though, so my mom smoked weed. But I was raised a certain way with the fear of God, hence, recovering Catholic. I never did drugs because I just didn't, my friends would smoke weed. Oh, party. Oh, here, smoke weed. I'm like, no, I never ever wanted to do it. So one day I was like, hey, I'm going to do it. And I did it and it was fine. It wasn't crazy. I didn't jump out of a window like in Reefer Madness.
Miracle.
I got $22 worth of Taco Bell. Which, if you don't understand how much Taco Bell you can get for $22
back then, and that caliber of Taco Bell,
right?
Wow, you had a feast.
No wonder I had a stroke. That's not real food, but it was great. It was such a it was different back then though, because we just did it to smoke weed, have a good time, and party. Today it's a lot different because holy shit, the medicinal side of this is insane. Not just mentally, actually physically.
Yeah. The chemical, we actually have receptors in our brains that are actually built for THC to be able to deliver, and we can receive. It's like a plug and a wall socket. Mm-hmm. It's built in to be able to have that receptor in our body. So it's almost we're built to take this chemical into our system.
It's a beautiful green leaf. And speaking of green leaf, that's where I found out a lot about the CBD, the cannabinoids.
Now you got to be careful with that stuff too. A lot of people will try to sell you the CBD because they get it from hemp, this, that, and etc. But what you need is a full spectrum pull, and not just from a hemp plant. You need it from, like indica, sativa, ruderalis plant. You can't really get it from a hemp plant. I mean, people will advocate this, that, and the third, but the biggest misconception, I think, of cannabis in the health industry and as far as like being a real therapeutic element in the world is this. And I'll be really honest, I might stand alone saying it, but most of the medicinal qualities of cannabis are lost once you add a heat source to it, i.e. you're using it, making hash out of it. And so you're adding, let's call it alcohol to extract it, or using butane to extract it, or let's say you're lighting the flower once it's dried, or let's say you're doing a dab once it's been pulled, or let's say you're baking it into cooked goods, or if you add any kind of a heat source, you're losing 70% of the medicinal quality of that plant. If you were to juice the plant,
yes.
If you were to treat it like a vegetable and cold press the plant and take shots of that extract, now you're talking about the medicine of the plant.
Yes.
The other ones are just kind of like, hey, we just come along with you. And the psychotropic effects of it can be very important for some people. The whole helping with your dietary issues can be very important to people. Right. Even with me, with my seizures, my doctor, who is a Harvard graduate, saved my life multiple times through brain surgery. It actually told my mother, who was very much against the use of cannabis or any drugs for that matter, that one of the reasons I am still alive is because I smoked so much cannabis.
Hey.
Because it was inadvertently keeping my seizures that I was unaware of at bay.
That's amazing. You were just recreationally taking the medicine to stop your seizures without knowing that you had seizures.
But then we get into that conversation of, is anything accidental?
Right. Everything's meant to be. Like, it's supposed to happen the way it's happening.
Right. It was. It's crazy to say, crazy to feel, but it's like, when on this wave that you're on, do you accept the fact that you're about to ride a giant ass wave? Right. You better pull it together, man. So it's like, yeah, you're on this wave. Focus. And I think that's what it came down to. And I think my mother even saw that. And so, like,
yeah, is she pro now?
I wouldn't say she's pro, but she doesn't give me a hard time about it.
That's good.
I can talk. I've always talked openly, not necessarily openly, but now I do. Now I've shown her. I open up my stock market application, or what I had before.
It's legitimate business now.
Yeah, I'm like, look, this is a cellular company. This is a therapeutic company. This is a solar company. This is a bio company, and this is a cannabis company that I'm buying with American U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm making a fucking terrible living out of it because I'm taking a loss on my investments. But look, Mom, I'm no strings.
Right.
But yeah, like, so if I could get anything across to pull it back, that definitely is it. The juicing of cannabis truly is the medicine. Everything else has its application, and not some of it can be fun. But I think the real medicine is really in the juicing of plant. And I'll go ahead and throw a little shout out to guanabana. It's a fruit that you find in tropical places. Here you would know it as sour sop.
Okay.
You ever seen it?
No.
Okay. This stuff is so strong that if you're on chemo, and delicious. I mean, fucking delicious. It's amazingly delicious. But if you're on chemo, it's so strong it kills the chemo.
Seriously? That's crazy. See, natural things, time-proven ingredients.
Come on now. Now, you got to believe that the planet, the natural resources in the world are giving you the cures that you need for the ailments that you've developed.
Right.
It's not some chemical compound that we've created in some laboratory that's going to save you.
No, time-proven ingredients. I say it all the time. There's a reason why these things have been around so long, because they work.
Well, I think even further, I think there's a reason why they were created. It's because things work.
Right. Yeah.
It works.
It's the balance. It's the balance of, oh, well, here's the ailment. Oh, well, here's the cure. It's the yin and yang of life.
Yeah. Like, let's say, like the guanabana, the sour sop, if you eat the seed, you can die because it's got arsenic in it that can kill you. But the fruit will save your life. Same with cannabis. If you smoke a bunch of seeded weed or just the seeds of a cannabis plant that's been grown for too long, you might get a really bad headache.
Right.
Still the same plant, still doing the same thing. You're just grabbing the wrong part.
Right. All right. Yeah, the juicing, I found out about that through this documentary called Green Leaf. Not Sweet Leaf. That's a Black Sabbath song.
I thought it was a tea.
It's oh my God, Good Leaf, a Good Leaf or Green Leaf, something like that. We'll put it in the description at the end. It's about the Charlotte's Web strand of CBD.
Yeah, I think I think that's ruderalis.
Is that what it is?
I think it might be because it's super high in like CBD content.
It's crazy. So like it started out where the girl had tumors in her brain, the little kid, which is a little toddler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think she was a toddler. I think she was a baby. And the doctors were like, yeah, just make her comfortable.
Yeah,
like,
call it a day.
Nothing we can do. So the mom was like, yeah, no, there has to be something. She did a research, ended up like in Luxembourg with this dude that has like a specific strain. So she got the plants. She ended up juicing the plants, and she would give Charlotte, I think it was a shot every morning.
Yep.
After a few months, her tumor started to shrink magically.
Like shrink. Like
yes.
Away, like go away and put things into remission,
right?
Like lupus and the rest of it.
Insanity.
No, and it's so simple to really, if we drop all the veils and all the bullshit and the garbage and we really talk straight, it makes sense why it's been illegal for so long.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't make money off you if you're healed.
Man, we wouldn't have Pfizer, we wouldn't have all these antidepressants, we wouldn't have so many different avenues of killing you that we have right now.
It's big business.
Like you can grow it at home.
Your health or lack thereof is big business.
It grows so well that it's called weed.
That's actually a really good point. But it was amazing to me because doctors, and she went to multiple doctors, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. And where she lived, it was illegal. So she couldn't even get it because it was illegal. She had to move to a place. I think it might have been California.
Fact check. The family Joe is referring to moved to Colorado, not California, where Charlotte's Web is grown. Check this episode's show notes for links to more information.
With like these brothers, and they had like this farm, and then they had that specific strand. It's called Charlotte's Web. And it helped. It cured her. It didn't help her. It cured her.
Finished, done.
Which is incredible. So like it's the strand is called Charlotte's Web, but give it a look. Green Leaf, Good Leaf. I'm pretty sure it's Good Leaf, but I did have a brain injury.
Yeah, Charlotte.
So, but it's amazing. So the medicinal side for me, I'm just learning about the CBD because I'm a THC smoker. Because
much more than CBD. There's THVC, THC, CBD, CBG, and
these sound like
go on.
television stations.
But it's really, truly that it's a damn shame.
So for me, I started out when I first smoked weed just to get high because I was a kid. I was 16 around that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm really hungry. Got the munchies. I didn't know there was differences in weed. I was just like, oh, well, this is what happens. Or you get really sleepy. Then I found out about like sativas and indicas. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That took me a long time. I had to move I was already 30 by the time I figured that one out.
Yeah. So like sativa, it'll perk you up. It's more of a head high. Indica is more like, oh, I'm just body high. I'm in a lot of pain. It's going to help mellow me out or help me sleep. So that was cool to know. But again, I was just like more recreational smoker. When I started getting my massive migraines, when my body was saying, dummy, you're going to die because your blood pressure is so high, I smoked weed for the pain in my brain. And it helped. And I honestly think the vessel would have ruptured in my brain if it wasn't for me smoking as often as I did. And it wasn't like I was like a habitual smoker, but like anytime it got too intense, I would smoke for the pain. Like literally, I would be like, okay, well, this recreational stuff is definitely helping me medicinally. And it was actually the doctor I went to get my marijuana license, because you need a license at the time before it was legal over here. And he took my blood pressure and he was like, you need to go to the doctor. And I didn't, because I'm an idiot.
Hey man, I've made that choice many times.
I'm telling you, 2 peas in a pod, man. That's why we both have scars on our heads. But it's such a beautiful plant, and it has such a negative stigma because
it saved my life.
Reefer madness.
My mom is devout, beautiful. Just God bless that woman, and she lets me because she knows that's true.
It helps.
It saved.
Whether you don't want to, there are people out there who will be like, no, no weed. It's all evil. It's all bad.
Right.
But then, get cirrhosis of the liver and by drinking alcohol, that's legal.
Yeah, people don't like cilantro.
They've got cancer of the lungs by smoking these legal cigarettes, but they are anti the marijuana. And then afterwards, they'll smoke the marijuana for the medicinal purposes of the healing properties in it that the legal tobacco gave them. It's crazy. It's a backwards weird world wherever.
No, it's not at all. It's genius.
It is business wise.
Fucking genius.
It's awesome.
It is. It's flawless. People always say the system is broke. That shit is perfect
for what it is.
It's
broken for you because you're a good person.
No, it's broken for you because you're below the line. Let's call it.
Yeah, you know what?
It's that fucked up, I think. But I've also had multiple I've had 3 brain surgeries, a couple of eye removals. So whatever
By the way, that still bugs me out that they remove your eye. Because I just picture Demolition Man.
Yeah.
When he had like the dude's eye on the end of a knife.
Yeah.
Which also, I don't think that's a thing. Isn't the eye like mostly liquid?
And it could also be running, man, when he holds it against the maker when he's like.
The moral of this story is everybody watch a Demolition Man, please.
Yes. Taco Bell.
That's right. Everything is Taco Bell. It's like I could go for a gordita, but
you know what I can go for? Cocaine and hookers.
Damn right. That's my dude right there.
Sorry, Felice, I had to.
Disclaimer: the NeuroNerds do not endorse or promote drug use in any way, including heroin. Don't listen to Joe and Thomas. They had brain injuries.
If you enjoy listening to this podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast app. Your reviews help us grow and reach more listeners like you.
Find us by searching for the NeuroNerds on the Apple Podcast app today. So for me, being 420 and talking about the medicinal side of marijuana, mental health. So I was always really, really anxious. I suffer from anxiety. I'm really quick to jump into depression, like at the drop of a hat. But I present really, really well.
You know, ever since I've heard you say that term, it's haunted me.
Present well?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a curse.
You know what? Because, yeah, man, and you hit it on the fucking head again. It's a curse. I present well. And it's so hard for me.
Dude.
Because everybody's like, hey, you're fucking doing great, buddy. Come on, let's go skydiving. You want to microdose some mushrooms? They'll tell me the most absurd things. And I'm like, you guys, I should be in bed. And they're like, nah, you're good. You should go get a job, man. I'm like, no, I totally agree with you. But my doctor's like, don't go to work, Thomas.
Dude.
I don't have a choice, though.
But you present well.
Yeah, at least I can get the job. Can I execute it? No. I said I was available. I didn't say I was any good.
So here's what's crazy. I'm recently going through like all of these like I'm going through mental warfare with the incident that I had at the hospital I'll be talking about pretty soon. I'm still not 100% ready to talk about that yet.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had a medical issue with my brain stuff like 2 days ago too. 7-11, I felt like something punched me in the chest. And all of a sudden I started going into seizure mode and like, I'm supposed to be okay.
That's what's bugged out. So I never had a seizure. Actually, my therapist thought I was having seizures. When I got out of the hospital, I had dissociative episodes because of the PTSD.
What is that?
So basically, I would just kind of drift off and go somewhere. My mind would shut off.
Nobody could talk to you. You just wouldn't hear
I would just be like, I'd look like a zombie apparently. I don't know because I wasn't there. Felice would apparently be next to me and Joe. And I wouldn't be there. And then I would come to, I'd be like, what's wrong? She's like, I've been calling you and you haven't said anything. Are you okay? And what my therapist told me, my original therapist when I got out of the hospital was like, it's your mind is protecting itself. It's a fight or flight thing. So it's fight, flight, or turn off. So it just shuts itself down because it doesn't want that fear, whatever it is. Like it just shuts down. So I would have these dissociative episodes. And one of my therapists was like, you might be having mini seizures. But then I went to my neurologist, neurosurgeon, whatever. I'm not having many seizures, just dissociative episodes. So I don't know what it is to have a seizure. I was on anti-seizure medication.
Which one?
Shit, I don't remember.
Keppra.
It was Keppra. Do you want to know why I remember that? Because we live in California. I live in California, and all of the nurses are Filipino. and they would say the name of the drug in like the really thick Filipino accent, which is beautiful. I love it. And so my nurse would come in and she would give it, use the Libetalol for the high blood pressure. And then she's like,
you do that so well. My wife would be really proud.
and she's like, Kepra, anti-seizure. Which is funny, but I've never had seizures though. They would feel like.
Well, there's different kinds from what I'm becoming to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even call my own. I don't know what mines are called. I know they're triggered by temperature. If I get cold, too cold.
Not stress, not panic.
No.
Okay.
It's mostly been, I guess, because right before I started going in for my brain surgeries and all that kicked off, I started having seizures out of nothing.
That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It's you had, dude, there was something wrong with your brain.
Yeah, totally. I really did. I thought, I was the next movie star. No.
Nah, man, you're just a rock star.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know how to play an instrument. I have carpal tunnel, but I can do auto tune.
Hey, you and T-Pain killing the game.
I heard he's great.
He is, dude. Have you ever heard that dude sing?
Dude, my best friend Malcolm Barrett. By the way, big shout out to Malcolm Barrett, the actor who's been in a bunch of stuff.
He's like a nerd. He's becoming a nerd icon.
Well, you know what? He's really smart.
Like he's on Preacher.
Yeah,
he's on
It's
Always Sunny.
AMC, Always Sunny. He did Timeless. He's got his own CBS pilot right now with
I just saw him in the newspaper.
Yeah, he's smack, and then a ton of movies, and he just was on Weird City for YouTube, and he just wrote a play about that I inspired actually because of my brain problem.
How awesome is that?
Which is called Brain Problems.
Yeah. Thomas's Brain Problems created.
Hopefully I can get Malcolm in for just a little quick snippet. Maybe we can get him in to kind of talk about the show and what it's like to be the best friend of somebody who's like going through what I went through.
Absolutely, because it's always great to hear and see another perspective, like the caretaker, the caregiver, but nobody ever talks about like the friends.
Yeah, because he was there when they pulled out a tube out of my penis, and that was really uncomfortable for him.
Man, hey, I'm going to go with it was equally as uncomfortable for you.
I needed that thing out of there, dude.
So I have no real recollection of being in the hospital, but I do know that I had a catheter in. I don't have any memory of it, but I know I needed that out of my body. That's weird. So I don't, the seizure thing, it's not, it's great you have seizures. No, marijuana or cannabis is amazing for seizures.
Kept them at bay my entire life, man. And I didn't know it.
Phenomenal.
It really, truly is. It was like my body did.
Yeah, that's true.
My body knew.
Your body
even
knows.
Against my mother and the world telling me, hey, stay away from that. I didn't. My body was like, no, you need that.
What are you, a hip hop artist?
Like, I don't know what it was that called me to it. And I never did it because I wanted to be cool. I just did it because I just felt like I needed to.
Right.
And I was right.
Dude, it's something your body has, you yourself and your body knows what it needs and your instincts know what they need. Just like an animal. Like an animal, like an animal will have an intestinal thing. They'll start eating grass.
Yeah, right.
Because they know it's going to help.
I need to get that out of me.
They didn't know that, the grass is going to help like rust everything. It's going to help settle the stomach. They don't know that.
Yeah,
they just know instinctively, this is what I need. Maybe your body is just like instinctively, I need this. Nature is amazing.
Yeah.
And nature honestly has all the answers. It has all the cures out there.
This beautiful plant that we've had since the beginning of creation has been subjected to this kind of abuse and thought since any of us that's listening has been alive.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because it has helped save so many lives, including the person who's specifically saying it right now.
Right. It literally saved Thomas from a seizure that might have, ruptured something and you wouldn't have made it out.
And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can take my Harvard graduate, second best AVM surgeon in the world's word for it, Dr. Patel, that works at Brigham and Women's.
That's a pretty good tell. That's pretty good information to come from that dude. And that dude saved your life. Thanks, Doc.
He saved my life, let's say about 4 or 5 times from death.
That's a beautiful man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful man. I had my neurosurgeon save my life, but he was the most socially awkward human beings to ever walk the face of the earth.
I feel really blessed, man. I feel like I found the doctor.
Dude, you did. You literally, you know, you found the perfect woman. You found the perfect doctor.
I feel like I did. He's a lovely man, and he has beautiful style. His suits are amazing and beautifully crafted.
Oh man, my neurosurgeon was just like super socially awkward, and like I was asking him questions, and he was looking at me like I was speaking German.
I'm sorry, dude. Hey man, big ups to Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, and to Hannah and Dr. Daniel and Dr. Patel and to Angie and to all you lovely nurses and people in there doing your thing day in and day out, and taking all the crap from the crazies and the people who are misdiagnosed and the people who are suffering, and you still take it with the good and the best. God bless you. I love you. You will always be in my heart. I'm a New Yorker to the day I die, but fucking let's go Boston.
Boo! But yes. Let's be happy for that moment. But overall, come on, man. I'm a Yankees guy.
Yankees, Metsies all day. I have to, and I hate sports. But
Kyle's a Mets dude.
I have to be, because I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, there's a few things we have to do. Not be Yankees fans, be Mets fans.
So yeah, we appreciate you guys keeping Thomas alive. We really appreciate that.
I really do. They're like family to me now. It's really true. You know?
I mean, that's such a beautiful thing, you know? So on this beautiful special 420 episode, you know, talking about like the medicinal positive side of weed. So the THC is the psychoactive. When you burn it, that psychoactive turns psychoactive. And you become, that's where you get, I'm doing the quote fingers, that's where you get high. To me, that's the fun side.
Right. Me too. That's just the fun.
Yeah. That's the recreational side.
Yes. That's 100%.
I
don't got glaucoma. I don't got
No. I just wanted to get high.
Yeah.
I wanted to really enjoy that movie.
But it also, with the right strands, is being able to like slow my heart rate, calm me down.
Well, that's the side.
I just didn't know that's what it was doing. I was just like, I'm getting high. Cool.
That's the side that I never really understood when I was younger. But like as an adult, I can appreciate it so much more. So some of them, mine in particular, was a high blood pressure induced hemorrhagic stroke, stress,
really?
Stagnant lifestyle. It was, I ate horribly. I thought horribly. The stress part, if I was smoking regularly, I'd be a little bit less stressed. Not that like I can only be happy when I smoke. No, there's just certain days. How many times have you heard this? Man, I had such a rough day. I just need a beer. Non-alcoholic.
I mean, it gets pushed in the industry, television, radio,
every movie,
movies, and everywhere you go. It's absurd how much. And don't get me wrong, I love tequila. I really do. I don't think drinks are terrible.
Everything's great in moderation.
You know, and I got to be honest. People always talk about marijuana, cannabis doesn't kill anybody. It has. Okay. Yeah, it has. There was a dude, I think he was in Oklahoma. He was walking in his field, and there was a plane overhead, and it dropped about 10 pounds on his head. That shit killed him.
That's amazing. But yeah, it's stigma. Stigma is everything, which is really crazy, you know? And it lasts.
It lasts generations deep.
Literally generations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my mom was shamed because of her mom read this and knew about this and thought that. And you just keep passing that down.
But you go back further enough, you see kings with cannabis in their tombs.
Right.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah, is it?
Right?
What's funny is now you can't keep information away from people. That's why I tell everybody all the time, do your own research.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the upside to this being, you know, the 420 episode, the upside is sometimes you just need a mental break. You know? Like you get so amped up and so stressed out, you just need something to help you relax a little bit. A lot of times it'll be, oh, let me make myself a drink. That's probably not going to be good for your liver.
And what's beautiful about what you're saying is you're talking about one of the hundreds of chemical compounds in this one. I just need to smoke this joint to kind of relieve my blood pressure. Let me calm down. Let me not stress out so much. But what about the compounds that reduce your cancer size of your tumors, or they get rid of your lupus, or they get rid of your seizures, or they get rid of your epilepsy, or they get rid of your, you know what I'm saying? Like you could go on for days and days. We need to like really, truly, I don't know. To me, this is a much bigger conversation, but I've also been in a much bigger conversation in the last 2 years of my life with my 3 brain surgeries, et cetera. Like I've been making peace with my soul.
Right.
I've been trying to figure out the whole grand scheme of things. So when I'm talking, it's like,
it's coming from a different
it's coming from a conversation that like I guess you guys are just picking up on and I'm allowing you into, because I feel like it's a much bigger game.
It absolutely is. But like if you like just the medicinal side, just the positives. There's what's the real negative side? You eat a little bit too much. That's even a positive.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there, cancer patients, they have a hard time eating.
Yeah.
That's
why it's an important piece of that plant.
Absolutely.
It serves a purpose. It's not a game. It's a battle out there.
It is. It is. You know, and you have to just do your own research, man. Like just figure this stuff out for yourself.
It's true.
Do your own research, people. It's gonna be fun. It's like a project. That's right. The NeuroNerds are giving you guys homework. So it helps with that. My physical therapist, when I wasn't eating, because I lost 30 some odd pounds when I was in the hospital. I was in a bed.
I gained 8 pounds at my mama's house. I'm happy. I was happy.
I was happy with every spoonful. I was happier. So my physical therapist, he would come to the house and he'd be like, maybe smoke some weed. He'll get the appetite going so you can eat. Because I just wouldn't eat. I had zero appetite after my stroke. But again, he was like, other patients.
And plus, you're laying down all the time. You're not really building.
You're not building up the appetite. Yeah. So that was a thing. It was great for my headaches when I had headaches, when I had the migraines. The cannabis that I was smoking actually helped with that. It brought the pain down from a 10 down to a 2. That's massive.
That's huge.
For anyone that's ever had a migraine.
Yeah.
That was, mine were so bad I'd be throwing up in the shower.
Yeah, I've learned the difference. People are like, my head hurts.
No.
Me too. No. I've been having a migraine.
There's a difference between some discomfort and the agonizing pain of a migraine.
Yeah, like I can't hear you talk anymore. I need you to be quiet. I need to go to a room where it's dark and I don't get any light. And I don't know if it's my sinus or what it is. I need to go to sleep now.
It's crazy. Dude, I would do that. It would be like 12 hours, and just I'd be miserable.
Oh, wait, I can't. I have to go to work.
It's a bummer, man. Right? Like you just can't function. That's the thing. You can't really even hold a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got through days. Weird, isn't it? Like perspective, like going back.
I don't know. If you were to go back in time and say, hey, Thomas, so you know why you're feeling like this and why you're having this issue right here and it's so hard for you to do this is because you're dealing with this, this, and that. I don't know if I'd try so hard.
Right.
I don't know if I'd be like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to try that. I got to try twice as hard as everybody else just to walk down the street then. Then I won't. Then.
Why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like me in that perspective, telling me that back then,
right? I
may have not tried.
Well, that's a good thing. So it didn't happen to you back then. It's happening to you now.
Yeah, exactly.
All these things happen like at the time, the place and time where it's like meant to happen. Like even all this stuff, all this the cannabis now being legal, it's happening at this is the perfect storm. It's happening at the perfect time where it's acceptable. It's recreational, but it's also medicinal.
Ooh, I'll tell you what.
And you have all these entrepreneurs.
Grab your seeds while you can and keep your own genetics to yourself.
Before they turn into...
Really soon, that will all change.
Yeah, before they turn into corn.
Soy. Soy is the most manipulated bean ever.
They're doing it with the chilies. There's issues with like the chilies now because there's like technically they're...
I don't trust anybody. I feel like everything has been...
I don't even want to breathe.
I'm telling you, dude, I'm like 2 seconds from like, if I had the finances, etc., I just moved to South America.
Yeah, but then they threw the seeds in the air and it's going to end up on your island.
It'll take some time and I'll be dead by the time I'm 60 at this rate. So,
nah, man, come on. I don't hear that. Come on, guys out there. Shame Thomas.
But if I lived a fantastic life, there's no shame in going.
Absolutely not. We all go when it's our time to go, but I am in no rush to do that.
I am no rush to do it.
I got to tell you, I got a lot more to do from here until then.
Yeah, I'm figuring that out, which has been, trying because you spend most of your life being like, all right, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to excel. I'm really good at this. I'm going to market this. I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to go. You make all these plans. And then one day you wake up and all that shit is gone.
It's strange. So like us as survivors, us as brain injury survivors, like, dude, it comes out of left fields.
It does.
And it just hits you. So you bob and weave. You roll with the punches, right?
In between PT.
You can either lie down or you get up and fight. I'm glad that you've chosen to get up and fight. And I'm glad that you understand there's a big community out there. So this being we'll kind of close out this 420 episode. So the information, we'll throw some information in the show notes and you guys can do your own research. Then hit us up. Let us know what you found out, what you think, how you feel about this stuff. How we feel is cannabis has been given a bad rap. I think it's been given a bad rap.
One of the worst raps of anything. For no reason whatsoever. It's like dandelions were terrible. It's the same difference because you can make tea out of dandelions. You can make wine out of...
Dude, dandelion root is a diuretic.
Exactly.
It's an amazing natural water pill.
What if they turned around yesterday and they said, hey, man, dandelions are illegal. And now you're liable for every dandelion in your backyard.
That's crazy. So I hope everybody, no matter what you do, whether you're pro, whether you're against, just live your own life, man. Do your own research, figure it out what works for you. And try not to shame or belittle somebody who's doing something that works for them. They're not harming anybody else. Like in a lot of cases, drinking and driving, over medicating.
And please don't misunderstand. It's not like I'm against alcohol. I'm just saying, man.
Just saying.
Be honest about what it is. That's all.
I think that's the thing. Be honest.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like let's demonize alcohol. I'm just saying call it what it is and call cannabis what it is.
Yeah, and
it's not as dangerous as alcohol, and we should just acknowledge that.
Yeah, just you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to do it, but just do your own research. Don't do your research that's only going to benefit your side.
Yeah.
Well, I think this, so that's all I'm going to look. No, just look up unbiased research.
Mm-hmm.
Put it together, figure out, all right, well, a lot of people are saying this. Most people are saying this. This is what I believe. Just do that. We'll be in a much better place.
Yeah. And really easy. I mean, if you want to do a study that you can do from home, it's really simple. You can do it with your own life experiences. You just sit in a quiet room. If you want to play some music, go ahead and play some music, put some mood lighting on. You want to burn some incense. I don't know where you're at in your state of mind, but you want to just kind of seclude yourself and you think to yourself, you go, all right, how many people has cannabis killed? And then you think, how many people has cannabis saved?
Right.
And then I think you'll have your answer, even without having to do any research whatsoever.
Yeah, that just, you know what? Just be cool.
I mean, if you were listening to this, you just met somebody who saved his life.
Literally saved this man's life.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, because you didn't know it was saving your life, but it saved your life.
Yep.
Such a beautiful thing.
And it's not coming from me being like, I think it's because, no, my Harvard graduate doctor's neurosurgeon said it to my mother.
His anti-marijuana mother.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom won't let me drink alcohol. She'll let me smoke a joint now.
Hey, because it saved your life. What a beautiful green leaf. Watch the documentary Green Leaf. I believe that's what it's called.
Fact check. The documentary that Joe is referring to is called Leaf. The link to watch it is in the show notes of this episode.
I am so happy to be here with this man sitting across from me having this conversation. And I can't wait to get into like a much deeper conversation where I don't have to like tie it back to weed. But I hope you guys enjoy your 420. I hope you guys indulge in a good way because everything is good in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, it's like St. Patrick's Day for stoners,
And you still wear your green shirt.
You can absolutely wear your green. I'm not wearing green right now, but I will be. So
I don't have any green on me. Oh, yes, I do.
You do. The socks, man. The socks that match the shoes.
That's right. Because you know what? I didn't survive 3 brain surgeries not to match.
What a beautiful world we live in.
Side note, because he is a little high, Joe forgot to tell you to follow at the NeuroNerds everywhere. Follow him at Joe So Rocks everywhere and follow Lauren at Lauren L. Manzano on Instagram. Plus follow this episode's guest, Thomas, at Mejia 111 on Instagram. Links are in our show notes. And now, a word about our sponsors.
Thanks to our sponsor, Avid Technology, for providing us with the tools, or should I say, pro tools, to record, edit, and mix our podcast and get our message out clearly to the world.
Try Avid first to start recording today for free at avid.com/pro-tools.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you to our amazing community on Patreon for supporting this podcast.
You can support us too and get different perks and gifts depending on which Neuro Jedi tier you sign up for. For example, if you're on our Neuro Padawan $5 tier, then you're probably listening to this episode a day early before its public release.
Your support helps us grow and continue to create this podcast. Plus, a portion of the proceeds go to a different cause or individual in the brain injury survivor community each month. Sign up at patreon.com/theneuronerds. So on this beautiful, happy, festive, fun, informative note, as always, the NeuroNerds, we are here to help. And on that beautiful moment, Thomas and I here are out.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
This April, our Patreon donation spotlight is brain aneurysm survivor Amelia Clark's new nonprofit, sameyou.org.
Their mission is to create immediate post-acute rehabilitation for young adults who have suffered a brain injury or stroke. A portion of our Patreon proceeds will go towards this amazing nonprofit.
Sign up to support us at patreon.com/the NeuroNerds. #the NeuroNerds give back.